I got something pretty cool in the mail today. At least I think it is. Well, I think other people might think it is too, so that's why I'm recording this. And I gotta find a board in which this is not the board. So, hard to do one-handed. I'm gonna put the phone down and cut. I have the motherboard. There we go. So, anyways, I got something in the mail today. Nobody knows what it is. I'm gonna open it up on camera, and you're not gonna know what it is until after I open it. It's a processor. I'm sorry, I know you couldn't take the suspense. I couldn't take it. I have a processor. It's an interesting processor. What's even more interesting is the motherboard that it's going to go into. This motherboard is rather interesting if you ask me, and it kind of plays by different rules than that which we are used to when it comes to brand new motherboards, which there should be an asterisk next to brand new when it comes to this motherboard, but that'll kind of reveal itself later on and we'll talk more about it. I made a post about this board in custom PC builders and talked about it amongst the members, but I really wanted to be able to talk about it more and to be able to show more people because I think it's a really unique motherboard that deserves to be talked about, and maybe later on in a different video we can dig in and see if there's any value left in this motherboard and the platform that it's on. I know the board should have a socket cover on it, but it doesn't. It is what it is. Sue me. The board is made by a brand name I'm not even sure if I know how to pronounce. I have bad grammar, but I think it's pronounced Jingsha or Jinsha or Jingsha. I don't know. It's sold and labeled as an X99 motherboard that is really cheap to buy. I've had this motherboard for a very long time and I've never been able to get it to post. I've tried a ton of different hardware combinations, different RAM speeds, ECC, non-ECC. I've never been able to get it to work. I was playing by the rules that this is an X99 motherboard, and it is for sure not an X99 motherboard. This motherboard is sold as a brand new board, and it mostly is brand new, except for one small little part of it. Here's that processor, which is a Xeon E5 2678V3. After posting in custom PC builders, I learned more about this motherboard in 3 days than I did in the 4 years of owning it. It turns out buying this motherboard brand new doesn't mean it's fully brand new, and there's a small little part of the motherboard that is used or recycled, and that part would be the chipset. I don't even know what chipset is in this motherboard, but from what I understand, it's removed from old, dead, or broken motherboards and recycled, resoldered onto this board. And with all that being said, there's only 5 processors this motherboard will support. This information about what processors it supports is a lot easier to find than all the other information that's given here. Right now, not only can you get this motherboard really cheap, but supported processors are cheap, and you can also get RAM really cheap because it supports ECC DDR3. I have 2 kits of RAM here that I'm going to be testing out. One of them is a normal kit of Corsair Vengeance DDR3. They're 4GB sticks running at 1866 megahertz. And this other kit is just some random ECC DDR3 I had laying around, which I'm not even sure if it works, nor am I sure of what the specs are without looking it up. I know they're 8GB sticks, and I know they're branded Samsung. The numbers on these ECC sticks seem really foreign to me because it's not often that I use ECC DDR3, even though it's really cheap and there's a lot of great platforms that you can use it on still. I got this really crappy and beat up, overused air cooler that I use with homemade mounts for testing hardware, and we're going to use this and get everything set up here. there is going to be a lot more that I'll be able to show everybody within the build video I plan on doing with all this hardware, with this platform in good old 2025. See what kind of value there's left in the hardware. I mean, I know there's still good value left in the hardware, but maybe other people don't. Who knows? This could be a hidden gem for somebody trying to build a budget gaming computer. For now, we're just gonna try and test it to see if we can boot into the BIOS for the BIOS settings for the first time, which I again have never been able to do because again I've been thinking that this was an X99 motherboard, and again, again, it's not an X99 motherboard. Well, I'm going to finish getting this test bench all set up and see if this motherboard is finally going to boot into the BIOS and give us some signs of life or usability. So I guess this is the point in the video where we're going to do some kind of build montage maybe. But instead of using energizing, uplifting music, I'm going to use elevator music because everyone seems to really love elevator music, just like they love the amount of thermal paste that was put on this processor. So, with that being said, here we go. Wait. We cannot skip past this part. It's like the best part of this entire hobby altogether. Installing the GPU. No way we're going to skip that part of this glorious test bench build off that we have here. But the question is, what card are we going to use? I am surrounded by cards. Well, I'm going to use this GTX 980. It's a really nice card. I really love this generation. This is the card that's going to be going into the budget build video, which has been delayed because of, I guess, a curveball that's been thrown at me is the best way to say it. But yeah, we're going to install this and see if this test bench will boot now. So satisfying. Well, here we are, moment of truth. I have one of the only 5 processors this motherboard supports installed, and I'm hoping I'm about to press this power button and get some kind of life out of the board for the first time in a whopping 4 years. To think we wouldn't even be here right now making this video if it wasn't for me being so damn stubborn, refusing to give up and refusing to get rid of the motherboard. I feel like most people probably would have by now, and I cannot tell you how many times I've been here in the past pulling this motherboard down every time I would get a processor in that is supported by the X99 platform, and every time it would just end in disappointment every single time. Is this just going to be another one of them times? Well, I guess we're about to find out. So, here we go. Come on. What? Yes. I cannot even tell you how happy I am at this point to finally have this motherboard post and show me signs of life. I cannot wait until I get a card and I install Windows so I can start running some games to see what kind of value there's left in this platform and see how it will run games here in good old 2025. I plan on making more content with this platform, with this motherboard, so watch out for future videos. This processor is actually really cheap. It cost me very little money, and I know you can find this motherboard cheap as well on the Alakaba Lalaba Express and the alakababa.com. If I pronounce them right, I might have butchered it just a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, you might be able to find the boards on like eBay and Amazon, but I'm just not sure. And I know you can find it on the sites I just mentioned if you're willing to buy from there. I know you can get cards really cheap nowadays. It's actually a really good time for the custom PC hobby, you know, on the used side of things at least. I really would like to be able to show people how they can be very active within this hobby and spend very little money doing so. I know not everybody has all kinds of cash to spend on the best and the newest top of the line hardware. I would love to be able to show people how you can be active in the hobby and even make money out of being active within the hobby. I've been doing this for a very long time and I'm very passionate about the custom computer hobby. So now that we know this is not an X99 motherboard, I think we should pop this chipset cooler off and see what's exactly under there. From what I understand, in China, they are taking these used chipsets off of dead motherboards and reprogramming them and resoldering them to brand new motherboards, or new with an asterisk next to it, quote, end quote. But yeah, they're soldering them to new motherboards and reusing them. So yeah, let's see what's under here. I think this will be really interesting to see. Oh wow, that's actually kind of wild to see. Looks like there's handwriting on it. I mean, it looks used and kind of sets what I said before in stone. I mean, there's a lot of evidence to back that up. I have no idea what chipset this is, but you can see the markings on it if anybody would like to look it up, or if there's anybody who would know more about it. I would be really interested to hear what your findings are or to hear what you have to say about it. I would like to know more about what chipset this is or where it came from. So, yeah, feel free to comment, please, because I would like to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to follow my account or feel free to join the Custom PC Builders Facebook group. I'm going to be posting more content there in the future. I have some Alpha Cool hardware coming in, so I'm going to be doing some custom cooling content, you know, stuff that people would actually be able to afford, right? Plot twist. Didn't see that one coming. Was that like oxymoronic? Custom cooling people can afford? What? Nobody's heard of that. Yeah, but anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and please share if you like. Maybe your friends would like to see it. Maybe their friends would like to see it. Who knows? Nobody would know unless you share, so share. Thank you. Come again.